and welcome back to my channel where I bring you mermaid related content to help you live life so mermaid. And I want to welcome you back to another Workshop Wednesday. I'm thinking of calling these studio vlogs moving forward because I've been doing so many of them and they don't really feel like, I don't know, they like some of them could be like sequential. I feel like, I don't know, do you guys care? Comment below. Workshop Wednesday, studio vlogs, is there a preference? I just feel like I sometimes want to do these on other days too, so calling them Workshop Wednesday feels a bit weird to me. I don't know. Anyways, my hair is amazing today. I'm very impressed with it. That being said, I have a new hat. They came in finally. Well, the one. This is like my tester to make sure that I'm happy with the product. And I will say I am super, super thrilled with how it looks. Hashtag so mermaid in my font. And then on the back it says, if it'll stop focusing on my face for like 2.3 seconds, it says live life hashtag so mermaid. So they're snapback hats and it's green underneath, blue on the top, and that's the inside. Hats don't usually fit my head and I'm super thrilled to say. Let me just do this properly. So mermaid. Just get the full effect here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's comfortable. I like that it's bright, it's bold, it's a bit more wild, and I just realized that I was actually out in public like this just now. So mermaid and so mermaid. I have a problem. These are gonna be available soon in my shop. It's a one size fits all kind of deal, but I can tell you if it fits my enormous noggin, it'll fit your enormous noggin if you have an enormous noggin, and if you don't, you will be able to adjust it as necessary. That is the beginning of this workshop video because, hey, I worked hard on this and went through a bunch of different designs for it, and I'm really happy, especially the Live Life So Mermaid. So like you're standing in line getting groceries or something and people are like, yeah, live my life so mermaid. Can I be like cool? How do they do it? Do they like, it's like, I will let you guys know when these are in the shop. But that being said, I have leggings that came in last week for a client. So I'm gonna be meeting up with her to drop those off, /swim/awesome. Then I have another client, her top and leggings just came in. I can't show you those ones unfortunately because they're custom and they match her tail, and her tail's a secret. Some of you have already seen it. If you have seen it, please don't leave like horrible spoilers in the comment section. That's very uncool when people do stuff like that. We don't want to ruin her surprise. So that, measurements, and then I have Mermaid Lolly's tail, which I need to cut out, which I'm going to show you guys right now because I've been rambling. But guys, it will have been worth the wait, I promise. Let's take a look at it. So here we are. I can't show you all the stuff that's in here. So let's just pull out Lolly's tail. And I've got, so these are leggings they were a client order. Then I've got measurements in, I'm quite digging this, Connie. It's beautiful. Pumpkin. You know me a little too well. I'm all about the pumpkin patch. Okay guys, here it is. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Lolly, like, bum ba da da. Okay, let me lay them out and I'll show you guys quick. Obviously, this gets folded over, so there's only gonna be that much that shows, but I just, like, I'm gonna obviously do my full-on video for this, but guys, oh, Lolly, you are in for it. I am so stoked. I could explode everywhere. Like, it's gonna be a mess. Look at this. That was my first time doing like an overlapping where it was like, and then comes down and around, so something different there. And then she has heel fins as well, so it's trippy. I feel like I'm getting this down to a bit of a science now, where it looks like I should be able to stick my hand like underneath, but you can't because it's flat. So, oh, the gold, the gold, the gold. I legit also forgot I actually have to finish the last little remaining bits on the Spyro tail. So I'm gonna get it and then I'm gonna explain to you what's going on. The issue is when you have a really stiff blade for your monofin, you can't fold it to take it in and out the center. The merman I made this for is aware this is my very first time making a tail for this monofin, so This is all part of the learning experience. But what has happened is I am not able to actually sew in far enough to keep it from having a rather large opening in the middle, which is fine if you're going to be swimming. It's not going to be an issue, but if you want to flip your fluke up, you are going to see a little bit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, his monofin is actually modified in the middle, so this may even be a totally moot point, okay? But me being me, and always wanting things to be kind of perfect, I am going to attempt to sew this in just a little bit further today if I can. So what I'm gonna do is, now that it's been sitting in the, this is the thing people don't realize, I let my work, like the tail skin, sit on the monofin for like a couple of days, sometimes a week. Like, you just by looking at it, you'll be able to tell if it's sort of like adapted to the shape that it's been forced to take. Like, and what I mean by that is you'll start to notice things are starting to kind of settle, like bumpy bits have kind of worked themselves out. So like, these are all things from just experience from doing this as long as I've been doing this now, right? So I've let it sit. I'm gonna see if it's gonna make a big difference. If it's not gonna make a big difference, because I'm still gonna have a little bit of a gap, you guys totally can't see what I'm doing. How about this? So if it's gonna end up making a big difference, what I'd like to do is bring it to about here, okay? The problem with that is this monofin actually gets wider here than it is here, so things to note for next time. I probably won't make, honestly, I probably won't make another tail for this monofin either. This is sort of the exact opposite of what happened to me with the siren tail. If you haven't seen that video, and if I remember, I'll link it up in the cards. But I had to keep the opening this big because the tail has so much flop that no matter how you move, all you do is see a big gaping hole, which is why I don't make and sell tails for the fantasy monofin. That's just So this one, then I'm gonna cut this out, then I'm gonna break down some measurements, and we'll see where that takes us time-wise. So I'm gonna get some slippers or some shoes or something because my hardwood floor sucks. It's hurting my feet. And then I'm gonna crank some tunes. Also, just as a reminder, if you ever wanna hang out with me live for these little to-dos, I do stream these over on my Patreon Instagram, which is accessible if you join us at patreonpod.com, which is like our extended pod community. So for as little as $1 a month, you can gain access to all kinds of cool behind the scenes stuff. I'll give my spiel at the end of the video. We don't need to get into that. But if you do see me talking to people throughout this, that's who I'm talking to. So if you ever do wanna hang out live, you can check us out at patreonpod.com. Okay, so let's get into the rest of this expedition. So if you were there for the live stream, you know that I was stressing pretty hard about the Spyro tail. So when you work on a tail, like pro tip, when you're asked to make a tail for a Monofin you've never made before, like stresses and unexpected things are going to come up. It's just part of the fun. And you always let the client know ahead of time, like, look, this is the first, you know, my first time working with this particular Monofin, and you know, lucky for me, as I anticipated, the fabric, once it was given the opportunity to stretch around the form for a few days, sort of mellowed out, and I was able to stitch it in a little bit further. So what that means now is that we're not going to have as much gaping here. You'll see just a little bit, which you see on my tails too. That's very normal for all of the fabric mermaid tails. It's just part of it. The longer the fringe, the less likely it is that's going to happen. But yeah, so I'm very happy with how this turned out. In the water, it's not going to have any effect, but I didn't like, so I gave it probably that much extra stitching in there. So what it means is I'm gonna have to let my client know that he needs to be very careful that he actually pinches the corners when he goes to take this off, which you should do anyways with all the mermaid tails that if they've got stitching there. It's just sort of it's one of Tinkerbell's feathers, one of her down feathers. I miss her so much. Add it to my collection. Okay, pull yourself together. Anyways, so that's done. I'm still gonna have to photograph it, but I did just get word from Eric. He is off early and I would like to spend some time with him. It's getting a bit windy, but we might still be able to make it for a nice walk. Here's hoping. And so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I didn't get to sewing Mermaid Lolly's tail, because you don't want to rush these things. Like, you want to actually be able to sit and focus. And I know if I'm rushing to beat him by 5 o'clock, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that for my own personal tail, so why would I do that for a client tail? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to take the time and do it right. So it's all pinned, it's ready to go. I have the thread. I'm going to actually make sure I've got enough, because I've got some other upcoming tails that are going to need some thread, so I might as well. We're going to go out tonight, so while I'm out, I'll pick up some thread. And as always, I want to know what you guys have been working on as well. So what did you decide to chip away at today? I know that some of you guys are also making mermaid tails. A lot of you are doing art. Some of you do schoolwork, I've read. So what were you up to today? I want to know. Leave me a comment on that as well. And if you liked today's video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the pod. And if you don't want to say goodbye just yet, be sure to swim on over to patreonpod.com, our extended pod community. For as little as $1 a month, you gain access to the monthly mermaid tail coloring challenge, the behind the scenes feed, the private Discord community chat, the monthly private live stream, the weekly podcast, as well as the mini live streams that happen over on Instagram. As I mentioned earlier, the people that you saw me talking to, that was on the private Instagram account. So while I'm doing these workshop Wednesdays / studio vlogs, I like to hang out with the Patreon pod. We throw on some tunes, we talk about life, we talk about mermaid tales, we just hang out and have a good time. So if you want to check that out, again, that was over at patreonpod.com, and we'd love to have you join us. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!